fastest plane, the jet-propelled P-80 Shooting Star, is revealed by the Army Air Forces. The P-80 is heavily armed and reaches a speed of nearly 9 miles a minute. With tremendous strides forward in jet propulsion, and even more with the earth-shaking announcement of the atomic bomb, Allied air forces now have undisputed mastery of the enemy. The Palace of Justice in Paris. Marshal Henri Petain of France faces trial for treason. Edouard Daladier, French premier at the time of Munich, is a prosecution witness, along with former President Albert LeBrun and Paul Reynaud, last Democratic premier of France. Aged Henri-Philippe Petain, in full 7-star uniform as Marshal of France, comes into the courtroom. The chief of state of the former Vichy government is charged with treasonable collaboration with the Nazis. Court president opens the session. Petain reads a personal statement, stressing his reputation as a military leader and asserting that his actions saved France from even worse treatment by the Germans. Petain's attorney presents the defense case. Solicitor General Mornay puts forth the government's charges as Petain and the courtroom listen tensely. Former Premier Reynaud accuses Petain of sabotaging French resistance to the Nazis. Petain has said that he will not speak further in his defense. On Okinawa, the village of Shimobaru gives way to a United States Army airfield, which must be built in its place. Soldiers escort native citizens of the village to their new homes. These enemy nationals on the conquered island are fairly treated by American Army authority. Settled in their new homes, the Okinawans volunteer to help build the airfield. They go back to the site of their old village, now cleared by United States construction crews, and begin work. Where only hours before was a village, fighter planes now point the way to Tokyo. At the Emperor's Palace in Potsdam to pose for the international press come United States President Harry S. Truman, Russia's Generalissimo Joseph Stalin, and Winston Churchill as Britain's Prime Minister, just before Churchill left for England to learn the results of the general election. Work on grave matters of policy is already well underway. The leaders of 3 nations join in a cordial handshake, symbolizing the unity their countrymen have achieved in war and will preserve through the peace. Major Clement Attlee, Churchill's successor, returns to Berlin as British Prime Minister and Chief Representative at the conference. He had attended all previous sessions and takes up the continuing business of the meeting with Truman, Stalin, and the advisory delegations. Ernest Bevin, new British Foreign Secretary, also participates and is greeted by President Truman. In their final sessions, the Allied leaders agreed on a stern but just military administration in Germany and made swift progress on plans for security in Europe. Shortly after this historic conference, Russia declared war on Japan, joining forces with the Allies in the Pacific. Admiral Halsey's vast Third Fleet assembles for the most daring of its many hazardous missions, the naval bombardment of the Japanese homeland. Stretching far beyond the horizon is the fleet's supply train. Among the fighting ships, at least 14 big aircraft carriers, 3 to a squadron, speed toward Japan. Admiral Halsey boards his command ship from a destroyer. Also aboard for this historic strike are Assistant Navy Secretary Sullivan and Vice Admiral Fitch. Land-based bombers from Okinawa hammer Nagasaki in a preliminary attack. Then Halsey's carrier planes sweep over Tokyo. Miles north off Hokkaido, battleships and cruisers of the Third Fleet sweep to within 3,000 yards of the mainland. Admiral Halsey at his post on the bridge is within easy reach of enemy shore batteries. Not one fires. These official Navy films are the first pictures ever released showing inside operations on a new United States battleship. 14 and 16-inch rifles are loaded. The naval bombardment of Japan begins. For the first time, the enemy homeland feels the power of United States Navy big guns.